Hello, students. My name is Sonia Malik. I am your coding teacher and mentor. And in this video, in this lecture number 15, you will be understanding pointers and call by value and call by reference. Thank you. Hello, students. In this lecture, we will be covering call by value concept, call by value, and call by reference. Call by reference in C++ language. Okay, these two concepts, C++ language. Okay, but before proceeding to what is a call by value, what is a call by reference, we should know about. But before proceeding further, we should know some prerequisite concept. Prerequisite concept. Okay, concept. Prerequisite means a concept that is required before studying the actual concept, right? That is, what is a pointer? What is a pointer? What is a pointer, right? Okay, so let me take you to the open board to explain you what do you mean by pointers, right? Okay, so in the previous lecture I have explained you in the previous lecture I have explained you scope in real life by giving you that real life example, and then I explained that I connected that term to programming. I have explained you what is scope in real life, what is scope in programming. Same way in this lecture also, firstly I would like to give you some real life example. I would like to give you some real life example of what is pointer, what is a pointer. Then we will relate this term to the programming. Okay, then we will relate this term to programming in C++, right? Okay, so let me use some other color. Okay, suppose there is a park. There is a park. Pay attention to this example, please. There is a lane that surrounds this park. Like some the place where you live, like the place where you are living. Maybe there is a park in the middle, and there is some road that is covering this park boundary, and then there are some houses. Okay, these are some houses that are present on the boundary of this park. Like this type of colonies are there, areas are there in cities, right? Okay, so suppose this is a special house, so I would like to print it, make it with some different separate color. Okay, pay attention to this story and you will be getting very much interested, and then you will be getting clarity and understanding of the concept. Okay, with the real life example. Okay, this is your house. Your name is Karan. Your name is Karan. And there is your friend whose name is Sham. Whose name is Sham, right? Your name is Karan, and there is your friend whose name is Sham. Okay. So generally, what happens when some relative, in real life, what happens when some relative will come first time to your house? Suppose your Chachaji is coming for the first time to your house. So he will be not knowing the address of your house. So he will enter your colony, and whosoever they will find outside, sitting outside the house, like some persons roaming. They will stop them and ask, "Hey, do you know this house address? I am very new to this city, and I have come here to see my bhatija," right? Like that, something like that. So that in real life, relatives used to ask addresses from the people around, the people living in that area, like to reach our houses when the relatives are not aware of our house address, when they're coming for the first time. So same way, suppose there is a person. Okay, so this person is the friend. Okay, or let us say Chacha ji. It is very, this will look like clear, right? Suppose this is the Chacha ji of Sham. Chacha ji of Sham. Sham is this person, na? So this person is the Chacha ji of Sham. They are very old and they are coming, they are coming, they are coming, and they have entered this area where the Sham lives. But they are not sure like where Sham lives. They are sure like in this area Sham lives, but exactly where it lives, they are not aware, right? So they will see that a person is sitting outside the house on a chair. Chachaji will go. Chachaji will go here. Let me erase it from here. Okay. I want to give you a very clear picture. That's why I'm making these cartoons and all that's right. Okay. So, Chachaji will go here and ask, "Hey, beta, son, can you help me finding out where Sham lives? I am the Chachaji of Sham. Can you tell like where Sham lives?" Now this Karan knows that okay, Sham lives opposite to my house. This is my house and this is the opposite house. This is Sham lives. This is the Sham house opposite to my house. So he will identify, okay, he is the Chachaji of Sham, and he is getting difficulty in finding where Sham lives. So let me take him to Sham's house, right? So Karan will say, "Hey Chachaji, please accompany me. Please come with me. I'll take you to the Sham's house." So they both are going. Okay, so they both are going and going and going and going and going. There is the Chachaji, okay, and there is Karan. Now Karan will do a point, like Karan will point towards the Sham house with his finger. He will point out. He will say, "Hey Chachaji, this is the house you are searching for." He will point towards some address of some house. Okay, so he will point. It is not like he will go to the, like he will enter, they both will enter the house and they will say, like the this Karan will uh, accompany him entering in the house. It's not like that. Standing on the road, this Karan will point, using its finger, he will point that, "Hey Chachaji, this is the house." From far he is pointing, "This is the house." What he will say, "This is the house. This is the house you were searching for. You were searching for. This is the house," right? Okay. After doing this, Chachaji will say, "Okay, thank you son for taking me to the exact address I was looking for. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." Okay. Now this Karan will go and then Chachaji will enter the house of Sham and they will meet. And okay, they will meet, right? Okay. So Karan acted as a pointer. Karan acted as a pointer because he pointed towards some address. Because let me take another page. Karan acted as a pointer. Karan acted as a pointer because he pointed towards some address. He pointed towards some address. Some address. Okay. So in the world of programming, like before moving to the programming pointers in programming, let me show you something. When you're writing this a now, when you're writing this a is equal to 10, you know like how it is getting stored into the memory. This is your RAM. This is random access memory. This is random access memory with so many blocks, let's say, right? This is a RAM. Okay. So when you are declaring this int a is equal to 10, you know like what happened inside the memory. You know like what happened. This 10 will be getting stored at some location. This is the block. This is variable a and it has some address. Suppose some xyz address it has. Okay, a variable is having some value inside a RAM, a name, and a name is given by you here, and it is having some address like what value it is and where it is stored, the address of this block, right? These two things it is having actually, right, inside RAM. Okay, random access memory, right? RAM is random access memory. How it is stored, this variable is stored. This is, I have showed you how this 10 will be stored. It will 10 will take a block and in under this, like below this block, some address is written, some xyz address suppose. Okay, 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 cool. So what will happen is, suppose you're writing int a, let me write it clearly. Suppose you're writing int a is equal to 10. Okay, this a is having some value 10. Now I want somebody to point to this address, to point to this address xyz, to point to this address. Let me again take a fresh page to explain you more clearly. Okay, suppose I am writing int a is equal to 10, and here is your random access memory, which is storing this a variable, which is storing this a variable. Okay, so this a variable will be stored here and with some address xyz. I want somebody to point to this address. Like in this previous example you have seen, like Karan was, there was Karan and he was pointing to the address of house of Sham. So I want somebody in programming world to point to this address where 10 is stored. So in this case I will be using a pointer. What is the syntax? I will be writing int star or asterisk. Suppose pointer name is ptr. Ptr is equal to, as it is pointing towards address of a, so I'll be writing address ampersand. In programming world, this asterisk represents a value at a address, and end represents the address. This asterisk represent value at some address, that is 10. This ampersand represents the address at some address of address, not address of something, address. Okay, so this asterisk, again I am repeating, this asterisk represents some value at some address, and this ampersand represents the address at which the value is stored. So this is the syntax. By this line, I have made a person ptr to point to this address xyz. To which address this ptr will point? It will point to address xyz, because address of a is xyz, address of a is xyz. See the diagram. Address of x is, address of a is, this a variable address is xyz. So this pointer will point to this address, like Karan was pointing towards Sham house. So in programming, this is the syntax: int star ptr. Ptr, this name can be anything but any readable name. Like you have variable name na, like let me highlight this, like you are having some variable name, like you are having some variable name na, same way you are having some pointer name, you can name this anything. I can also name this pointer as b, there is not a problem in this. Okay, int star b is equal to address of this. This is even okay, right? This is even okay, this is okay even, right? Okay, so this is the pointer that is pointing to the address of this 10, where this 10 is stored, that is xyz. This address is in the form of hexadecimal. This address will be in the form of hexadecimal, something xffx hashtag, something like that. Okay, okay. So, okay, so let me take you some another concept. Okay, so I told you I have created some variable int a is equal to 10, and I want somebody to point to this address of a. So you will make a pointer int star ptr is equal to address of a. This is a syntax now. Okay. Earlier, if you wanted to print this 10, how you were doing that? See out a. You were doing like this, right? You were doing like this. When this line was not there, you wanted to print the value of a, you did a see out a. But now you want to print, you want to print value of a using pointer. How you will do that? How you will do that? How you will do that? This is my simple question to you. This is my simple question to you. Let me take you some other page. So what I did, int a is equal to 10. Int, let me quickly write it. Int star ptr is equal to address of a. Okay. So if you want to print using pointer, you will simply write asterisk ptr, because now this ptr is having the address, it is having the address of a, and when you will put some asterisk, na, I already told you this star is used to get some value at an address. Okay, so this ptr knows the address of a, and this asterisk will give you value at address of a. This ptr means address of a, asterisk means value at address of a, value at address of a, right? And if you want to print the address, how will you write? Either simply write ptr or ampersand ptr, because this ampersand sign gives you the address. This ampersand will give you the address. I know it is little bit confusing for you, but let me make it very simple for you, right? Let us again do it step by step. Don't worry. Pointer is somebody that points to memory location of some variable. Suppose this is ram. Suppose this is ram. And this 10 is stored here and its address is xyz. It is stored in some memory location and its address is this. Its address is, this is stored at this block, and its address is some xyz, right? Its address is xyz. If I'm writing this line na, int star ptr is equal to address of a, you know why, what this line, what happened? A ptr, a pointer variable is created which is pointing to this address. What it is doing? Pointing to this ptr is pointing to this xyz. Okay, now this ptr is having this address xyz, and if we want this 10 value to be printed, how will you write? Cout asterisk ptr. It means ptr is the value of a, that is xyz, but we want value at this address, so that's why asterisk ptr, because simple ptr will give you the address xyz, but we want value, so that's why asterisk ptr, right? Asterisk ptr. And if you want address xyz, then you will write asterisk ptr or simply ptr. Okay, so conclusion is if you do a cout star ptr, you will get 10. If you will simply do a cout ptr, you will get this address xyz. And if you will do something like cout ampersand ptr, you will get a address xyz, both in both situations. Okay, in both these situations you will get like this. Okay, so this is a pointer in programming that points to a memory location where some value is stored. This variable a is stored at this location where its address was xyz, and some ptr, another variable is pointing to this address. Okay, this is the concept of pointers in C++ language. Fine. So let us proceed to the main topic that I wanted you to cover. I wanted to make you understand, right? Okay, that is call by value. I will also move to the editor, but before that I want to explain you the concept, right? Call by value and call by reference and call by reference. But before that, let me take you to the editor to show that how using pointer we can print the value. How using pointer we can print the value. Let me show you. Okay. So see, pay careful attention to this syntax that I am writing. I am writing int a is equal to 10 in the line number 6. I am declaring a pointer as a int star ptr is equal to address. So okay, this pointer will take always the address of the variable, right? Okay. If I am doing cout a, this will print the value of a, because I am printing the value of a by a only, using a only, right? It is giving me 10. But if with the help of pointer I want to print, I'll do a asterisk ptr. Yes, I will do asterisk ptr. Let us see what will happen. Ooh, it is giving us 10. Let us simply print cout ptr. It will give address. Let us see. Ooh, so see, you are getting some hexadecimal address, right? 0x6FF is 14, right? Let me put a ampersand sign, it will give the same address. This is how using ptr, another variable who is pointing to address of a, you can print the value of a. Because why it is printing it? Because this ptr is having the access of that a, because he knows it the address of a, he knows the address, so he can access the value also, right? Okay, let us move back to our whiteboard to explain, to understand the concept of call by value and call by reference, then we will code it in the editor, right? Okay, so let us first discuss call by value. Let us first discuss call by value and write quite shorter, because the editor, because otherwise the board will be covered with lots of text. Okay, call by value. Let me do first. Let me understand, make you understand about call by value, right? Call by value. I already told you that this is a main function, this is a main function, okay? So you are having some int a is equal to 10, you are having some int b is equal to 20, and you are returning some 0. And suppose you have made a void sum function, you are calling this sum function here after this line int b is equal to 20, passing a and b to it. And this is a syntax. Now this is the thing that I've already taught you, that's why I'm not paying much, like I'm not uh, I'm not elaborating it, right? Okay, so this is the function call you have made, where you are doing cout a plus b, cout a plus b. Any problem with the syntax, any problem with the syntax, this thing you are already clear with, that's why I'm not emphasizing it very much. From the day from the very, like from the last three lectures I have been explaining you this thing only, right? cout, cout, cout a plus b, right? Cout a plus b. Okay, this is a syntax of how you can add two numbers when some function is outside, not you are performing the operation in the main, right? This is the syntax, right? I am not liking this outside. You will see, like you will, I know you will be getting confused by this, because there was no space on the top of return 0, that's why I have written it outside. Let me write it here also only. Let me because the screen is smaller, that's why I did so. Okay, let me take you to this. Okay. Okay, int b, let me write small, small. Int b is equal to 20. You have called this sum function, passing a and b as the actual parameters, and then you did a return 0, right? Before the closing of this curly braces, right? Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, so I already told you these are the actual parameters. Told you, no? These are the actual parameters. And these are the formal arguments. Formal arguments, right? Okay, okay, this is the syntax of declaring a function outside to make it perform some addition operation for you. Now what is the, you will ask teacher, what is the call by value thing in this? What is the call by value? Let me take some next page, because it has covered up like the entire screen. Okay, so let me write the main thing here. Int sum, not int actually. Let me write void sum int a comma int b cout cout a plus b. I'm writing very open, like very distant. I am maintain distance between the text. Okay, so this is int a is equal to 10, this is int b. Now you will say, like, I have written two variables in the same line. This is acceptable, these small things are acceptable in C++. This is 20, this is some function calling, passing a and b, and this is return 0, right? Return 0. Now you know, like, what will happen if I do this type of syntax, write this type of syntax? What will happen? You know that these are the actual parameters that are passed, And these are the formal arguments. Like, by this what will happen? By this what will happen? A copy, a photocopy is made. Okay, this a and b, when you pass this a and b as a as an actual parameter, and then this is taken as a formal argument now by this other above function, this sum function. Like, this original a and b are not passed. Original a and b are not passed. Photocopies of a and b are passed. Photocopies. This a is 10, this b is 20, and when you are passing this a and b in the sum function, na, photocopies are passed. Photocopies of this a and b are passed to this function, and then this function will take the photocopies and declare them as formal arguments. The original a and b are not passed. Only the photocopy is passed. And this photocopy of a and b is used for addition purposes, while the main copy of a and b is still with main function. Still with main function. Only the photocopies are passed as a formal arguments. This is how it works. This is how it works. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, this is one way to write some function outside this main and perform some operation. This is one thing. Okay, this is one thing. This is known as call by value. You will say, what is the very special thing in this syntax? This is, we are writing from last so many days. This is not very much like some new we have learned. Yeah, I know that this is not something very new you have learned. This is already, but this thing was new to you, that photocopies are passed, right? But the next topic that I am explaining you, call by reference, that will be very new for you. And at the last, I will be giving you so good example to very much differentiate between the call by value and call by reference. So call by value is the same way you are doing, you used to do same way, nothing very special. Let us take call by reference. Let us take call by reference. This will be new for you, right? This is a sum function. This is a sum function. You are passing two variables. You are taking two variables as a formal arguments. Your main function is passing. If I am missing some syntax, na, ignore it, because understand the logic. Don't focus so much on this, that this is missing, that is missing. Okay. This is b. This is 20. This is, I am calling some function. I am passing a comma b. This is, I am doing a return 0, right? Okay. Now, like what will happen. Like what will happen. C out a plus b. Okay. This is the thing that you have already know. That have already known. You have already known, right? This is the thing. Okay. Now, I don't want to pass the values, the photocopies. Photocopies. I don't want to pass the photocopies of A and B as a formal argument to this sum function. But I want to pass the address. Okay. I want to pass the address, not the photocopied value. How will I do that? How will I do that? Please tell. I will call this sum function in such a way that I am passing address of A comma B. Earlier I was writing a comma b, but now I am writing ampersand a ampersand b. Please be with me for 5 minutes. I'll make sure that this concept will be directly into your head very nicely. Don't worry about that. Okay, I am passing address of this a comma b, and like, if I am throwing some address, who will catch it? Who will catch it? Like, if some address is thrown, pointer is there to catch it. So I will, instead of writing int a int b, this syntax will also be changed. How will I write that? I will write that int how will I write that? Please tell. I will make them a and b as pointers by writing asterisk, by writing this asterisk. because the address is thrown and it is catched by this pointer. You know, na, you, yeah, like in the previous video, in the previous 4 to 5 minutes you have studied now, this int star ptr takes the address of a. So if I'm passing address in the down for actual parameters, then it will be passed, it will be taken by some pointers a and b in the formal arguments. And instead of writing simply this ab, what I'll write, star a plus star b. This is how the syntax will be changed. This is how the syntax will be changed. This is how the syntax will be changed, right? I know that this is very difficult for you to digest. So I'll be explaining, I'll be repeating the same thing again very slowly, very nicely to make you understand, right? So firstly, let us do call by value. Let me erase it off and again tell you the same thing very nicely. Just pay attention, bear with me for 5 minutes and this will be directly into your head, right? Okay. Okay. So this is my main function, int main. Okay, here I have made some two values declaration, int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 20. Some function is called, a and b are passed, and a return 0. When I'll do this thing na, int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 20, you know, these two values will be stored in the ram, random access memory. These two values will be stored in the random access memory. Okay, suppose this 10 is stored here with some address xyz. Suppose this 20 is stored here with some address xyl. So this is how, as soon as we define and initialize it, these two values will be stored with some address in the ram, random access memory. And when we are writing this function void sum, void sum, this will be, the photocopies will be passed, int a comma int b, cout a plus b. 10 will be passed here, this 10 will be passed. Okay, here this 20 will be passed, this will be passed, this will be passed, and then it will be added up. It will be 10 plus 20 and it will give us 30. This is as simple as that. This is as simple as that. This is, you already know, this thing you already know. But the main thing to know is call by reference. I am sure that you are clear with everything that I have explained in this slide. I will be explaining you call by reference after this, just in 1 minute, very nicely with the same thing. How it will be stored in RAM, how the variables are passed, how the address is passed, everything. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, right? This is the actual code and thing that happens when you pass something, right? Okay. When you pass something, this is the exact thing that will happen. Okay. Okay. Now let me erase it off. Let me erase it off to explain you call by reference, how the things works in call by reference. I am sure you're clear with call by value. This is known as call by value because values are passed. Because values are passed, right? Because values are passed. Let us take some example. Int main, int main, int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 20, calling sum with address of a is passed, address of b is passed, and a return 0. You know, like, what is happening? Can you guys tell what will happen by these two lines? Can you tell what will happen by these two lines? In the random access memory, these two values will be stored with some address. Suppose this is stored by xyz address, this is stored with xyl address. This address is not hexadecimal, I'm just giving you example. Okay, by these two lines, these values will be stored here, and this 20 will be stored here in the RAM. Now you are passing address. See carefully, pay attention. You are passing address of A and address of B to the sum function. It means this sum function, so this is void, okay. This sum function is taking address because I have made two pointers, int asterisk a, int asterisk b. These are the pointers. So like when I'm passing this and ampersand a ampersand b, this will point to the address of this xyz. This will point to xyl. It means I have passed the addresses. I have not passed 10 and 20. I have not passed 10 and 20, but I have passed xyz and xyl. I have passed XYZ and XYL. Addresses I have passed. So this will take XYZ. This will point to XYL because the addresses I have passed. Now I have to do calculation. I have to do a 10 plus 20. Doing this XYZ plus XYL, I cannot get a 30. Because I have to add 10 plus 20, na? I have to add 10 plus 20 to get 30. Okay, I have to do 10 plus 20 to get 30. But if I'm doing something like this, see out a plus b, this a is not storing value 10. It is storing xyz. I told you, no, this is storing xyz. This is not storing 20. See, this is, I explained you here. This is not storing 20. This is storing XYL address. So how can I add two addresses? I have to add 10 plus 20. How will I obtain 10 plus 20 from this XYZ and XYL? I already told you, using asterisk. Using asterisk. How will you do that? Quickly tell me. How will you do that? Because you have passed the value, not you have passed the address xyz and xyl, not the value. So you will do cout asterisk of a plus asterisk of b. It means this address is xyz, this address is xyl. You are saying value at address xyz, which is 10 in the RAM, and value at address xyl, that is 20 in the RAM. You are doing a 10 plus 20, which is 30. This is how it works. This is how it works. I am hoping that this is clear to you. I am hoping that this is clear to you. If you want me to repeat it, let me quickly emphasize and summarize this once more to explain you. Let me quickly do this once more. Okay, let me quickly write something. This is main function. I am writing int a is equal to 10. Quickly see it up. It is 20. I am calling some function and passing the address of a and address of b. It means this a and b are stored in this RAM somewhere with some address. Suppose this 10 is here, this 20 is here. Suppose this address is xyz, this address is xyl. So it is stored with some address. It means in the void sum function, I am passing the address, and this address is catched by this A and B pointer. These are the pointers. Okay, this is passed, this XYZ. The values are not passed. XYZ is passed, address is passed, XYL is passed. I want to do a 10 plus 20, but I have addresses. How to obtain value from addresses? Do asterisk. Asterisk of SYZ plus asterisk of XYL. You know, like, what does it mean? Value at address xyz, value at address xyl. What is this xyz? What is this xyz? Quickly tell. This is a plus this is b. So asterisk of a plus asterisk of b. Okay, then it is adding 20. 10 plus 20, right? So I'm hoping that this thing is very much clear to you. Now let me quickly give you some example to show you difference between okay, difference between call by value and call by reference. Difference between call by value and call by reference. Quickly wind it up. Let us quickly cover it up, right? What is happening, man? Sorry. Difference between call by value and call by reference. Oh, what is happening? Let me slide it up. Okay. Difference between call by value and call by reference, right? Okay. So I will give you a very nice example. You will laugh and you will enjoy it, the example, right? Okay. Suppose this is a cheating scenario. Cheating scenario. You are in some examination hall, examination hall. This is your desk, this is your chair, you are sitting here. This is your friend's desk, he is sitting you at your back because his roll number at your back. Your roll number is 30, his roll number is 31. You are writing some exam. This is asking you, hey, please show this question. Please show this question to me. I don't know this question. Like we usually cheat na in exams. Like people used to cheat. Everybody has done that one at a time in their life, right? Okay. So this person, what it will do? It will. This is the hand of this person. It will show it by showing the sheet. He will say, okay, I am doing a sheet rightwards, you can see it from there. Okay, so he replaced his sheet from this desk and done it rightwards to show his friend. Now this friend will see from here, like at this angle, at this angle, at this angle he will see and he will write the answer. Then he will say, okay, thank you so much for showing me. Then he will again do the sheet straight. Okay, he will again do the sheet here, keep it here. Okay, this is call by value. It means you have just shown the content. Like by this cheating method, you have just shown the content of your paper to your friend. Whatever you have written on your sheet, you have just shown to your friend so that he can also write the same on his sheet. This is call by value. You have just shown the value. Okay, let us consider another scenario. Same scenario, but in some other way. Okay, here is the desk of your friend, desk, and here is the sheet of examination. You are sitting here. Your roll number is 30. Your friend's roll number is 31. Here is your desk. Here is your another person, and he's writing exam. He is showing you, hey. He is asking you, hey. He is requesting, hey friend, please show me this question. Show me this question. Now this time in the flow of emotions, you hand over your sheet to this person. You passed your sheet, passed the sheet. You passed your sheet to this person. You passed your sheet to this person. Now you have given the address of your sheet to this person. This person can tear your sheet because nobody is because you never know when your friend will flip, right? There's no trust anymore, okay, between you and your friend. He can tear your sheet so that your marks will be less in any like, or he can cross your questions. Suppose he crossed your question number 1 so that it will not be counted while checking. He tiered your sheet. Now you can also not tell to the examiner because examiner will scold you how why you gave your sheet to him. Okay, so you given the address of that sheet to this person. This is called by reference. It means you are giving the address. It means you gave your sheet. Earlier you just showed the content of your sheet, that is called by value, but now you gave your sheet to that person. You gave the address. It means you passed the address, not the value. You passed the address. You passed your sheet. Okay. Okay, so in call by value only the content is shown and it is not manipulated, it is not changed. Okay, what do I mean? What do I mean by this? If this is some void sum function and you are passing some values int a int b to it, you are the main function. You are the main function. You are passing, you're calling this sum and passing values of a and b. Suppose there is, you have declared a and b. Okay, I'm not writing it. Now you are passing the photocopies. So this sum function will not modify this value of a and b anyhow. This will not modify. If this will modify these values, this will not be impacted. Your original values will be 10 and 20. If your sum function will make it or try to modify it now with 30 and 40, it will still remain 10 and 20 in the original, because you have the original document and you have just passed the photocopy. Okay, if the values are changed in the photocopy, then the original value in the original document is 10 and 20 only, no worries. But you're not doing like this, you're doing something else. Let me quickly tell you, right? You're doing something else. This is your main. You have called this function a and b. This time you have passed the address of a and b, and now this sum function is not having the value, but it is having your original document. It is having your original document. You have passed the address. This sum function can modify your values of a and b. Like the roll number 31 now, he can modify tier, spoil the answer sheet of 30, right? Similarly, this function this main is now helpless. This sum function can modify it from 100 to 200, value of a, value of b, and this main function never controls it, cannot control this happening, right? So this is the difference between call by value and call by reference. I am sure that you are now by now aware of what do you mean by call by value, what do you mean by call by reference. Okay, so this is the entire concept. This is the entire concept. Let me quickly do it. Code it up. This is 20. You are passing this sum function a comma b. Let me directly show you the addressing part. Okay, suppose you are passing int a, suppose you are passing int b. Now you are writing C out address of a plus address of b. Okay, directly you are doing like this, because the call by value thing you already know. That's why I'm showing this only, right? Let me run this code and show you something, right? Oh, it is giving us 30. It means it is coming us correct. It is coming correct, not coming us correct, right? So by now, I am hoping that you are very much familiar with the concepts of call by value, call by reference, and the pointers concept, right? Thank you, all the best students. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.